Have you ever found yourself looking at something in your closet and wondering if it's still appropriate to wear it? Or maybe you've planned to visit a place, only to realize that it might not be the best choice anymore? As we get older, we start to reconsider a lot of things we used to do or wear, and that includes the clothes we choose, the places we go, and the types of social gatherings we host. After turning 70, we gain more wisdom about what works for us and what doesn't. In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 types of clothes you might want to reconsider wearing, 3 places that might not be the best destinations anymore, and 3 types of parties that may be better left behind. But don't worry, I'm not saying you can't still have fun or look good, just that it's about adjusting to what feels better for our bodies and lifestyles at this stage. Stick around till the end because I'll also share tips on how to embrace this new chapter with style and comfort, and trust me, it'll make all the difference in your day-to-day life. Before we begin, if this sounds like the kind of content you're interested in, make sure to hit that subscribe button for golden aging and turn on notifications so you never miss our tips on living fully at every age. Your support truly helps us reach more people looking to make their golden years healthier and happier. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. First, let's talk about clothes. You know, we've all had that moment where we look at a pair of jeans or a jacket and wonder, am I still pulling this off? As we age, our bodies change, and so does our fashion. There's nothing wrong with wanting to look good, but comfort and practicality become more important as we get older. So here are 3 types of clothes you might want to reconsider wearing after 70. Now, the first type of clothing you might want to think twice about wearing is any tight-fitting clothing. As we age, the body naturally changes, and our fashion needs evolve. One of the most significant changes many of us face is the shift in how our clothes fit. When we're younger, we might have embraced tight-fitting clothing as part of looking sharp or staying stylish. But after 70, wearing tight clothing can be uncomfortable, impractical, and even detrimental to our well-being. Let's talk about why tight-fitting clothing may no longer be the best choice as we age, and how you can still dress stylishly without sacrificing comfort. The first reason to reconsider tight clothing is the need for comfort and flexibility as we get older. When you're young, you may not think twice about squeezing into skinny jeans or a slim-fit suit, but as we age, our bodies naturally undergo changes that make tight clothing more difficult to wear. Our joints may become stiffer, and we may experience aches or pains in areas that were once problem-free. Tight clothing can restrict movement, which can be uncomfortable, especially when we want to stretch, bend, or even sit for long periods. For example, I used to wear slim-fit pants and button-up shirts that hugged my body. However, as I've gotten older, I've found that these clothes sometimes restrict my ability to move comfortably. After a few hours of wearing tight pants, my waistline begins to feel constricted, and my body starts to ache. The discomfort distracts from the joy of my day and can even cause unnecessary stress. These days, I choose pants and shirts that allow me to move freely, providing enough space around my waist and shoulders. This way, I can feel confident without feeling restricted. Another important consideration is how tight clothing affects circulation, especially as we age. Clothes that are too tight, whether they're waistbands, socks, or even shoes, can restrict blood flow. This becomes more of a concern as we age, as poor circulation can lead to health issues like swelling, varicose veins, or even deeper problems like blood clots. Tight clothing around the abdomen or waist can even contribute to digestive discomfort, making it harder to eat and enjoy your meals. I recall wearing a pair of jeans that were a little too snug around the waist one day, and I noticed that by the end of the day, I was feeling bloated and uncomfortable. Tight waistbands press against the abdomen and can interfere with digestion or cause the uncomfortable feeling of being stuffed or restricted. Since making the switch to looser, more comfortable pants with a bit of give, I've noticed a significant reduction in discomfort, particularly around my stomach area. As we age, our body shape naturally changes. The waistline may expand, the muscles may lose some definition, and our proportions might shift slightly. tight-fitting clothes that once fit perfectly may start to emphasize areas we prefer not to highlight. Clothes that pinch or dig into our skin can not only be uncomfortable, but they also don't provide the same flattering silhouette that we might expect. Wearing tight clothing when our bodies have changed doesn't reflect the body we live in now, and it can detract from our self-esteem or make us feel self-conscious. Instead of trying to force ourselves into clothes that no longer suit our shape, it's important to embrace a fit that works with our body today. Loose, well-tailored clothing that fits comfortably and flatters our current shape will make us feel more confident. I've found that wearing relaxed fit pants or a slightly looser button-up shirt allows me to feel comfortable without feeling self-conscious. When I choose clothing that accommodates my body, I feel confident, stylish, and at ease. The good news is that you don't have to give up on style just because you're not wearing tight clothes. It's all about finding the right fit for your body now. Relaxed fit pants, stretchy fabrics, and shirts with more room in the shoulders and waist can look just as sharp, if not more so, than their tighter counterparts. In fact, opting for looser clothing doesn't mean you have to sacrifice fashion. You can still look sophisticated by focusing on well-tailored clothes that give you room to breathe but don't drown your frame. I've started focusing on finding clothes that give me space to move without being too baggy. A well-fitted shirt that drapes over the shoulders and chest with just enough room in the torso can look more elegant than something that's too tight and uncomfortable. Choosing clothing with a bit of stretch can also offer that perfect balance of comfort and style. So, as we age, it's essential to recognize that tight-fitting clothing can become a source of discomfort and even health concerns. Embrace the shift towards clothing that prioritizes comfort and freedom of movement, without sacrificing style. Looser, more relaxed fits allow you to feel confident, stylish, and at ease in your clothes, whether you're running errands, attending a social gathering, or just enjoying a day at home. Comfort and confidence go hand in hand, and with the right fit, you can continue looking great and feeling comfortable well into your golden years. The second type of clothes you should avoid wearing after is any overly trendy items. As we grow older, our approach to fashion naturally evolves. What may have been in style when we were younger, or even what felt fun and bold a few years ago, may not suit us quite the same way anymore. One area where I've noticed a significant shift is in my choice to move away from overly trendy items. While trends can be fun, they often don't work well as we age. Trends come and go quickly, and what's in vogue today might not feel appropriate or comfortable tomorrow. Let's dive into why overly trendy items might not be the best choice after 70, and how to embrace a more timeless, elegant style that suits who we are today. Trendy clothes are often designed to make a statement, but that statement isn't always one that matches the person you are as you get older. As we age, we tend to develop a deeper sense of personal style. We know what works for us and what doesn't, and we start to gravitate toward clothes that reflect our true self, not what the fashion industry says is cool this season. Overly trendy items can make us feel like we're dressing to fit into someone else's idea of style, rather than embracing our own individuality. I recall a time when I thought it would be fun to try out a pair of bright, patterned pants that were all the rage in the fashion world. While they were trendy, I didn't feel like they represented my style. I found myself constantly self-conscious about them, feeling like I was trying too hard to keep up with the younger generation. The truth is, trends aren't meant to last, and they often don't highlight our personal flair in a way that timeless pieces do. These days, I prefer to wear classic clothes, well-fitted jeans, solid colors, and a well-tailored jacket, things that fit my body and style rather than what's trending. As we age, our bodies go through changes. Our waistlines may shift, our posture might alter, or our skin may lose some of its elasticity. What looked flattering on a 30-year-old may not have the same effect on someone in their 70s. Tight, form-fitting styles or overly flashy patterns that are part of today's trends might not highlight your best features. Or worse, they might make you feel uncomfortable. For instance, skinny jeans were once my go-to, but as I got older, I realized they no longer fit as comfortably or flatteringly as they once did. I found that the tight fit around my legs made movement feel restricted, and they simply didn't work with my body's changes. I switched to more relaxed fits and have never looked back. Instead of focusing on what's trendy, I focus on what fits my body now, and it's made a world of difference in how I feel when I get dressed. Wearing something comfortable that suits my body helps me feel confident and relaxed, which is exactly what we want in our golden years. Fashion trends often require a considerable investment, whether it's in high-end designer pieces or fast fashion that quickly falls apart after a season or two. When we get older, we tend to value longevity and practicality over fleeting trends. While you may have been willing to spend money on trendy items in the past, after 70, it's often wiser to invest in timeless, high-quality pieces that will last for years, rather than buying something that will go out of style in a few months. I remember buying a trendy jacket a few years ago, only to find that it was out of style after just one season. Not only did I feel I had wasted money, but I also realized that the quality wasn't as good as I'd hoped. The fabric didn't wear well, and it didn't offer the comfort or versatility I needed. I now prefer to spend my money on items that will endure over time, like a classic leather jacket or a well-made wool sweater that can be worn year after year without worrying about weather there. In fashion, trendy clothing often sacrifices comfort in the name of fashion. As we age, comfort becomes just as important, if not more so, than style. Those super tight pants or high heels that are part of today's trends might not be the best fit for us, especially when our feet, legs, or backs need extra care. Instead, clothing should serve our needs, providing both style and comfort in equal measure. I used to love wearing trendy sneakers that had flashy designs, but I began to notice that they weren't giving me the support I needed. I started looking for shoes that not only looked stylish but also offered the comfort my feet required, and I found that when I shifted to better-made, supportive footwear, my legs and back felt so much better. Comfort and style don't have to be mutually exclusive. You can still look good while prioritizing comfort. Rather than following trends, it's often better to focus on classic pieces that stand the test of time and are always flattering, no matter the season. Here are a few tips to build a timeless, age-appropriate wardrobe that works for you. 1. Invest in versatile basics. Instead of focusing on trends, look for versatile basics that can be styled in many ways. Items like a well-tailored blazer, a good pair of dark jeans, or a classic button-down shirt never go out of style. These pieces are easy to mix and match, and they offer timeless elegance. Look for quality fabrics, as they'll last longer and retain their appearance. 2. Stick to neutral colors. Neutral colors such as navy, black, gray, white, and beige are flattering on every body type and are versatile enough to be worn across many occasions. They also age better than bold, neon colors that can seem more youthful or trendy. A simple, neutral palette allows you to wear fewer pieces but still have a variety of stylish combinations to choose from. 3. Focus on quality, not quantity. Instead of buying several trendy pieces every season, invest in high-quality clothing that will stand the test of time. Clothes made from durable fabrics, such as wool, cotton, and linen, are often more comfortable and stylish than their cheaper counterparts. Timeless wardrobe staples, like a wool coat, leather shoes, and a soft cotton sweater, will serve you for years to come. Overly trendy items may be fun, but they don't always reflect the person we are today or suit our changing bodies. As we get older, it's better to focus on clothing that emphasizes comfort, timeless style, and practicality. Investing in high-quality, well-tailored pieces that fit your body's needs will not only make you feel more confident, but they'll also ensure you always look your best. Trends may come and go, but classic pieces will always remain stylish and appropriate, no matter your age. And now the third type of clothes you shouldn't wear after 70 is uncomfortable shoes. One of the biggest lessons I've learned as I've gotten older is the importance of wearing comfortable shoes. When we're younger, we might have sacrificed comfort for style, squeezing into tight shoes or wearing heels that looked great but left our feet aching by the end of the night. But as we age, our feet change, and those once acceptable shoes can lead to discomfort, pain, and even long-term health problems. Let's talk about why uncomfortable shoes are a no-go after 70, and how to choose footwear that prioritizes comfort while still looking stylish. As we age, our feet tend to undergo some natural changes. The arches may flatten, The skin may lose elasticity, and joint pain or conditions like arthritis can make standing or walking more difficult. Wearing shoes that are too tight, too high, or just poorly designed can exacerbate these issues, leading to blisters, bunions, joint pain, or even serious conditions like plantar fasciitis. I remember a time when I wore a stylish pair of leather dress shoes to a wedding. By the end of the night, I was struggling to walk properly because my feet were swollen and sore. It didn't take long for me to realize that these shoes were not doing my feet any favors. After that experience, I made the decision to invest in shoes that prioritize my foot health. Now I choose shoes that offer support and cushioning, and I've never looked back. I want to walk comfortably and without pain, and I've learned that I can do that while still looking sharp. Our balance tends to decline as we age, and that's why choosing shoes with proper support and stability is so important. High heels, flimsy sandals, or shoes with little arch support can throw off your alignment, increasing the risk of falls and injury. Even the most stylish pair of shoes won't be worth it if they don't offer the stability and support you need to stay on your feet safely. I used to wear dress shoes with thin soles that looked great but didn't provide any cushioning. On longer days, especially when I had to walk a lot, I would notice my feet becoming sore, and I would find it harder to walk without discomfort. These days, I make sure my shoes have thick soles and proper arch support. Shoes like these give me a sturdy base, making walking feel much easier and safer, especially when I'm out running errands or attending events. Uncomfortable shoes that don't support your feet properly can have a ripple effect on your posture and overall joint health. Shoes that cause you to walk improperly can lead to pain in your knees, hips, and lower back. The discomfort from tight shoes or improper fit doesn't just affect your feet, it can affect your entire body alignment, creating long-term issues in areas like your knees and lower back. I once wore a pair of shoes with an awkward fit for a long day of walking. By the end of the day, my lower back was aching, and my knees felt sore. After that experience, I made a conscious effort to switch to shoes that allowed for proper alignment. Shoes that have adequate arch support and cushioning now help me maintain better posture and avoid the body aches that came from wearing poorly fitted footwear. Comfortable shoes don't mean sacrificing style, and they don't have to be boring. There are plenty of options that combine both comfort and elegance, making it easy to feel good and look good. Here are a few tips for finding the perfect shoes. 1. Opt for cushioned insoles. Shoes with cushioned insoles can make a huge difference. They provide support, absorb shock, and help alleviate pressure from your feet. Whether it's a pair of casual sneakers or formal shoes, make sure there's adequate padding in the soles to give your feet the comfort they need. Look for shoes with removable insoles if you need additional arch support or custom orthotics. 2. Look for supportive arch designs. Shoes with built-in arch support are especially important for older adults, as they help maintain proper alignment and reduce strain on the feet. Many shoes designed for older adults now come with features that provide excellent arch support, ensuring that your feet remain comfortable and properly aligned as you walk. Opt for shoes with a contoured footbed that supports the natural curve of your foot. 3. Choose low-heeled or flat shoes. High heels might have been a staple in your wardrobe at one point, but as we age, they become less practical. High heels shift your weight forward, putting unnecessary strain on your knees, hips, and back. Instead, opt for shoes with a low heel or flats that provide a more stable base. A low heel of around 1 inch can still give you a bit of height without compromising your comfort. 4. Make sure the shoes fit well. Proper fit is key to comfort. Shoes that are too tight can cause blisters or foot pain, while shoes that are too loose can lead to instability and an increased risk of falls. Make sure there's enough room in the toe box to wiggle your toes comfortably, and that the shoe fits snugly around your heel to prevent slipping. Always try shoes on in the afternoon when your feet are more likely to be slightly swollen, as this gives you a better sense of how they'll feel throughout the day. 5. Go for breathable materials. Materials like leather or mesh are breathable and help keep your feet cool and dry. Overheated, sweaty feet can lead to discomfort, especially on warm days. Choosing shoes with breathable materials helps reduce moisture buildup and prevents irritation. When we're young, we often choose shoes based on fashion and how they look, but as we age, comfort and support should be our top priorities. Uncomfortable shoes can lead to pain, poor posture, and even injury, making it important to invest in footwear that keeps your feet happy and healthy. Luckily, you don't have to sacrifice style for comfort. With the right shoes, you can walk confidently, stay active, and enjoy your day without foot pain or discomfort. So, take a look at your current shoe collection and consider swapping out those uncomfortable pairs for shoes that provide the support, cushioning, and comfort your feet deserve. If you agree with these clothing tips, go ahead and comment too below. Share your thoughts or let me know if you've made similar wardrobe changes as you've gotten older. Now, let's talk about the places we should reconsider going after 70. I know we love exploring and traveling, but as we age, some places just aren't the right fit anymore. It's all about choosing destinations that make us feel comfortable, safe, and relaxed. Here are 3 places you might want to think twice about visiting. The first type of place you should avoid is any crowded tourist attractions. As we grow older, our needs and preferences shift. The things that once excited us, crowded tourist attractions with long lines, throngs of people, and the hustle and bustle of popular destinations, often become less appealing. After 70, traveling becomes more about enjoyment, relaxation, and comfort, rather than checking off a list of must-see places. Crowded tourist attractions can be physically demanding, overwhelming, and less enjoyable than we remember. Let's talk about why these types of places may not be the best fit as we get older, and how we can still experience the world in a way that suits our current lifestyle. One of the most significant reasons crowded tourist attractions can be challenging after 70 is the physical strain they impose. Visiting crowded places often means long walks, standing in long lines, and navigating through dense crowds. As we age, our stamina tends to decrease, and what once felt like an easy day of sightseeing can now leave us feeling exhausted and uncomfortable. Our bodies may not be able to handle the extended hours of walking, standing, and carrying heavy bags as we once did. For example, I remember visiting a famous landmark a few years ago. The crowds were so thick that it took nearly an hour to get through the entrance. Once inside, I was jostled by other tourists, trying to catch glimpses of exhibits, and I quickly realized that my energy was running low. I had to rest more frequently, and even though the experience was fascinating, I didn't enjoy it the way I had in the past. The physical exhaustion detracted from the excitement of seeing something new. These days, I prefer quieter, less crowded destinations where I can take my time exploring without the physical strain of navigating through a busy space. It's about pacing myself and enjoying the experience, rather than pushing myself to keep up with the crowds. Crowded tourist attractions are often noisy, chaotic, and visually overstimulating. Whether it's the constant chatter of visitors, the blaring sounds of street performers, or the flashing lights of advertisements, these environments can be overwhelming. As we age, our tolerance for noise and overstimulation tends to decrease. Too much noise or too many distractions can lead to stress, anxiety, or simply a sense of being on edge. What used to be exciting and energizing now often feels draining. I once visited a well-known museum in a busy city, hoping to immerse myself in the art and history. But as soon as I entered, the noise and crowd made it difficult to concentrate. People were speaking loudly, kids were running around, and the clamor of voices made it nearly impossible to enjoy the exhibits. I had to leave earlier than I'd planned because the overwhelming sensory input was just too much. I realized that while these tourist spots can be visually stimulating, they aren't always the best environments for peaceful reflection or enjoyment. Another issue with crowded tourist attractions is the lack of accessibility for older adults. Many famous tourist spots, especially historical landmarks or natural wonders, may not be designed with older visitors in mind. Steep stairs, uneven paths, or long stretches of walking can pose significant challenges, particularly if you have mobility issues, joint pain, or other physical limitations. Even places that are supposed to be elderly-friendly often have limited seating, rest areas, or transportation options to accommodate slower movement. For example, during a trip to a popular historical site, I encountered steep stairs that were difficult to climb, as well as uneven paths that made walking challenging. At times, I felt like I had to choose between staying back while others enjoyed the full experience, or pushing myself past my physical limits. That experience taught me that accessibility is a key factor when choosing destinations as we age. I now make sure to research the accessibility of attractions before committing to them. Just because you've decided to avoid crowded tourist spots doesn't mean you have to stop traveling or exploring new places. There are plenty of wonderful destinations that offer the peace, comfort, and excitement we're looking for, without the overwhelming crowds. Here are a few alternatives. 1. Off-the-beaten-path destinations. There are countless beautiful and culturally rich destinations that aren't flooded with tourists. Smaller towns, lesser-known historical sites, and quiet beaches provide the same sense of adventure and discovery, but without the hustle and bustle. Visiting these types of places allows you to truly immerse yourself in the experience and enjoy the beauty of the location without the overwhelming crowds. Whether it's a quiet village in the countryside or a hidden gem of a museum, these locations offer a chance to explore at your own pace. 2. Nature and outdoor adventures. Nature has a calming, restorative effect, making it a perfect escape from the noise and chaos of crowded cities. Instead of visiting crowded tourist sites, consider exploring national parks, nature reserves, or scenic hiking trails. These outdoor destinations are not only physically less demanding but also offer the chance to reconnect with nature, enjoy the tranquility, and rejuvenate your spirit. Nature walks and drives through picturesque landscapes can provide the same sense of exploration and wonder, but in a more relaxed and less physically demanding way. 3. Smaller, more intimate cultural experiences. Many destinations offer intimate cultural experiences without the overwhelming crowds of larger tourist attractions. Art galleries, local theater productions, cooking classes, or visits to smaller, less visited cultural centers can provide rich, rewarding experiences while maintaining a calm, peaceful atmosphere. These activities offer the opportunity to engage with local culture, meet interesting people, and learn something new, all without the noise or chaos of larger tourist sites. 4. Luxury relaxation destinations. If you enjoy pampering and relaxation, consider visiting luxury resorts or spas that focus on comfort and relaxation. These venues often provide a slower pace, with options like spa treatments, quiet gardens, and leisurely activities that allow you to unwind. The focus is on relaxation and personal well-being, not rushing through a crowded experience. You can still enjoy beautiful locations, but with a focus on rest, wellness, and tranquility. While crowded tourist attractions might have been the highlight of our travels in the past, as we age, our needs and preferences change. We no longer need to fight through crowds, stand in long lines, or endure the physical strain of navigating busy tourist spots. By choosing quieter, more relaxed destinations and activities, we can continue to enjoy the joy of travel without the stress and exhaustion that come with crowded attractions. Whether it's discovering off-the-beaten-path locations, enjoying nature's beauty, or immersing ourselves in smaller cultural experiences, there's a whole world out there waiting to be explored in a more relaxed, comfortable way. Let's embrace travel that prioritizes peace, enjoyment, and self-care in our golden years. The second type of place you should think twice about visiting are any noisy, overstimulating places. As we age, our sensitivity to noise and overstimulation tends to increase. The bustling, noisy environments that once felt energizing and exciting now often feel overwhelming. Things like loud music, crowded shopping centers, and overly busy public spaces can become stressful rather than enjoyable. After 70, it's important to consider how these types of places affect our well-being, both mentally and physically. The sensory overload from noisy, overstimulating environments can be draining, leading to stress, fatigue, and even discomfort. Let's explore why we should rethink spending time in noisy, overstimulating places and how we can instead seek out environments that are more calming and comfortable. As we age, our hearing changes, and we become more sensitive to high-pitched sounds or continuous noise. What was once background noise, the hum of a busy street, the chatter of people in a crowded cafe, or the blaring music at a concert, can now feel much louder and more distracting. Constant noise can create a sense of anxiety and make it difficult to focus or engage in conversations. Prolonged exposure to high noise levels can also contribute to stress, which is harder to manage as we age. I can recall a time when I went to a lively outdoor market with friends. The excitement of the crowd was palpable, and the music blared from speakers around the market. It was too much for me. My ears were ringing, and it became difficult to focus on anything. The noise began to overwhelm me, and I quickly realized that I wasn't enjoying the experience the way I once had. After that, I decided that I needed to avoid places where the noise was so intrusive, and instead look for quieter settings where I could enjoy the sights and sounds without feeling stressed or agitated. In addition to noise, overstimulation in busy environments, whether it's flashing lights, a constant stream of people, or competing sounds, can be mentally exhausting. As we age, our brains process sensory information more slowly, which means that overstimulating places can quickly lead to fatigue. We may feel overwhelmed trying to juggle multiple inputs, hearing several conversations at once, looking at advertisements flashing on billboards, or trying to navigate through a busy crowd. All of this can become mentally draining, and rather than feeling energized, we may end up feeling disoriented or stressed. I remember going to a large department store once and immediately feeling overwhelmed. The lights were bright, the salespeople were calling out, and the aisles were filled with people hustling to get to the next sale. It felt like too much to process, and by the time I had browsed for only a few minutes, I was mentally exhausted. I left without buying anything because I couldn't focus. It made me realize that I needed to be more selective about where I spend my time. I now prefer shopping in smaller, quieter stores or simply choosing to shop online, where I can avoid the mental overload of large, busy spaces. Constant noise and sensory overload can also lead to physical discomfort. It's well known that stress can affect our physical health, raising blood pressure, increasing muscle tension, and contributing to headaches. When we're in loud, overstimulating environments, our bodies may go into fight or flight mode, which can elevate our heart rate and increase tension in our bodies. Over time, this heightened stress response can contribute to feelings of physical discomfort, or even fatigue. I've noticed that after spending too much time in noisy, overstimulating environments, my neck and shoulders tense up, and I get a headache. I feel physically drained, and even after I leave the noisy environment, it can take hours for my body to fully relax. These physical reactions are signals that my body isn't handling the overstimulation well. It became clear that I needed to prioritize more peaceful, calming environments that didn't trigger such a stress response. While it's impossible to avoid all noisy environments, we can be more mindful about the types of places we visit, especially as we get older. There are plenty of alternatives that offer a more relaxing and enjoyable experience without the overwhelming noise and stimulation. Here are a few ideas. 1. Quiet cafes or tea rooms. Instead of going to bustling cafes or chain restaurants with loud music and large crowds, try visiting a small, quiet cafe or tea room. These places are often more peaceful and provide an opportunity for conversation without shouting over background noise. A quiet cup of coffee or tea in a calm environment is far more relaxing and enjoyable than being in a noisy, crowded place. 2. Nature and outdoor spaces. Nature offers a natural escape from the overstimulation of busy urban environments. Whether it's a stroll through a quiet park, sitting by a calm lake, or walking along a nature trail, the sounds of nature, birds chirping, leaves rustling in the wind, are far more soothing and restorative. Nature has been shown to reduce stress and improve mental clarity, making it an ideal place to relax and recharge. 3. Smaller, intimate social gatherings. Instead of large, chaotic parties or crowded events, opt for smaller, more intimate gatherings. These events provide a relaxed atmosphere where you can have meaningful conversations without the distractions of loud music or background noise. Whether it's a small dinner party, a quiet game night, or a casual meetup with close friends, smaller gatherings are much more enjoyable and comfortable at this stage in life. 4. Visit museums or art galleries. Museums and art galleries tend to have a quieter, more contemplative atmosphere, making them an excellent alternative to noisy, overstimulating places. You can immerse yourself in the exhibits and enjoy a slower pace, with enough space to breathe and reflect. Plus, many museums offer accessible features, such as seating or quiet spaces, so you can take breaks when needed. 5. Relaxing spa or wellness centers. A day at a spa or wellness center is a perfect way to escape the noise and overstimulation of the outside world. These places are designed for relaxation, offering soothing music, calming scents, and tranquil environments that promote both physical and mental well-being. Whether it's a massage, a facial, or simply relaxing in a quiet lounge area, these destinations offer peace and comfort. As we age, we become more attuned to the effects that noisy, overstimulating environments have on our well-being. While these places may have been enjoyable in our younger years, they can now feel overwhelming and draining. Instead, it's important to seek out environments that prioritize calm and relaxation, places where we can enjoy the world around us without feeling mentally or physically taxed. Whether it's a quiet cafe, a nature walk, or a small social gathering, there are plenty of alternatives that provide the peace and comfort we need to truly enjoy life in our golden years. Choose environments that nurture your mind and body, and you'll find that you can still experience all the joy and excitement life has to offer, just at a more leisurely and peaceful pace. The third type of place you shouldn't go is any unfamiliar locations without proper planning. As we get older, we often find that spontaneity isn't as practical as it used to be. When we were younger, we might have packed our bags at the last minute and set off to an unfamiliar place without much thought. But after 70, unplanned trips to unfamiliar locations can quickly become stressful, or even risky. The physical demands of traveling to new places, coupled with the potential for health concerns or mobility challenges, make it essential to do proper research and planning before visiting unfamiliar locations. This doesn't mean we should stop exploring or trying new things, but it's important to acknowledge the reality of our changing needs and preferences. Let's dive into why traveling to unfamiliar locations without sufficient planning can be more trouble than it's worth, and how to ensure that your trips are comfortable, safe, and enjoyable. As we age, health concerns often require more attention, and we need to be more mindful of how certain locations might affect our well-being. Some unfamiliar places, especially those in remote or rugged areas, may not have the medical facilities or accessibility features that we need. A lack of accessible transport, challenging terrain, or unfamiliar medical resources can create a sense of unease and even put us at risk. For example, I once took a trip to a charming small town that seemed like the perfect getaway. However, when I arrived, I realized the town was situated on steep hills with uneven cobblestone paths. I didn't think to check if there were accommodations with proper accessibility features, and it was difficult to get around with my arthritis. In hindsight, I realized I should have researched more thoroughly, including looking into hotels with elevators and knowing where the nearest healthcare facilities were. By planning ahead, I could have ensured a more comfortable experience without the physical strain. Traveling to a new, unfamiliar place can be exhilarating, but it can also lead to unnecessary stress if things don't go as planned. As we age, we often prefer to avoid situations that cause anxiety or confusion, especially if they involve navigating new environments or dealing with unexpected changes. The stress of figuring out transportation, learning a new language, or even just finding your way around can lead to unnecessary frustration. I remember visiting a city with winding streets, a language barrier, and very little signage for tourists. It was disorienting, and I ended up wasting time trying to figure out where I was going. After a while, I felt mentally drained and had to cut my visit short. It wasn't the fault of the destination, but it highlighted the importance of proper planning. Today, I always take the time to research the layout of a city, learn a few key phrases in the local language, and look for accommodations near the main attractions or public transport routes to avoid unnecessary stress. When visiting unfamiliar locations, it's easy to overestimate our energy levels or assume that we can handle more physical activity than we actually can. In our younger years, we may have had the stamina to explore a new city or destination without thinking twice. But as we age, we often find that walking long distances or handling a packed itinerary becomes more physically taxing. Not properly planning your activities can lead to exhaustion and discomfort. For example, I once embarked on a trip that involved multiple sightseeing excursions and hours of walking. I didn't pace myself, and I failed to consider how much energy it would take to navigate through a crowded city. By the end of the day, I was exhausted and barely able to enjoy the attractions I had come to see. I realized that it's essential to plan for breaks, consider shorter walking distances, and allow time for rest. This way, I can experience the trip at a comfortable pace without feeling fatigued. Proper planning ensures that travel becomes an enjoyable and fulfilling experience rather than one filled with unnecessary stress or physical strain. Here are a few tips to help make the most of your trip. 1. Research accessibility and comfort. Before traveling to an unfamiliar location, it's crucial to research whether the destination is accessible and suitable for your current health and mobility. Look into accommodations that provide easy access to transportation, elevators, and walkable areas. Check if there are medical facilities nearby and consider the weather conditions to ensure you pack appropriately. Make sure the destination has the resources that cater to your specific needs. 2. Plan your itinerary wisely. When visiting a new place, it's easy to get carried away and plan a packed itinerary. However, it's important to pace yourself and avoid overexertion. Consider breaking up sightseeing into smaller segments to avoid physical exhaustion. Don't hesitate to include downtime in your schedule, whether it's enjoying a meal at a cafe, sitting in a park, or taking a short nap. This ensures that you can enjoy the experience without getting worn out. 3. Choose destinations with transportation options. If you're traveling to an unfamiliar city or area, it's essential to research the transportation options available. Look for places with easy access to public transportation, taxis, or shuttle services. Avoid destinations that require long walks or difficult hikes unless you're certain you'll be comfortable navigating them. Familiarizing yourself with transportation routes before you arrive will help reduce stress and confusion once you're there. 4. Prepare for emergencies. When traveling to unfamiliar places, it's important to be prepared for unexpected situations. Ensure that you have access to emergency contact numbers, local hospitals, or pharmacies. Keep a list of important phone numbers, family members, your doctor, etc., in case something goes wrong. It's also helpful to have travel insurance that covers potential medical emergencies, especially when visiting destinations where healthcare services might be limited. 5. Consider guided tours or local assistance. If you're unsure about navigating an unfamiliar location on your own, consider taking a guided tour or utilizing local assistance. Many tour operators cater to older adults, offering slower-paced excursions and accessible routes. Guides can provide insight into the location, while also ensuring your comfort and safety. Having someone else handle the logistics allows you to focus on enjoying the experience. While traveling to unfamiliar locations can still be a wonderful experience after 70, it's important to take the necessary steps to ensure that the trip is enjoyable, comfortable, and safe. By researching destinations, planning your itinerary with care, and prioritizing comfort and accessibility, you can avoid the stress and exhaustion that often come with unprepared travel. Proper planning allows you to embrace new places with confidence, knowing that you're well equipped to enjoy the journey at your own pace. If you agree with these travel tips, drop a 3 in the comments below. I'd love to hear about your favorite spots that are more relaxing and comfortable to visit. Lastly, let's talk about parties. We all love a good celebration, but the types of parties we host should change as we get older. I know we've all thrown our fair share of big, energetic bashes, but some types of parties just aren't as fun or feasible after 70. Here's what I think we should avoid. The first is late-night parties. As we age, our bodies and routines naturally change. One of the things that becomes clearer over time is how important sleep and rest are for our well-being. What used to be an exciting feature of socializing, staying up late into the night at lively parties, can quickly become less appealing as we get older. After 70, hosting or attending late-night parties no longer seems worth the physical toll it takes on us. While it's true that we still want to enjoy life and have fun, it's important to be mindful of how late-night parties can disrupt our sleep cycles, drain our energy, and even lead to unnecessary stress. Let's dive into why late-night parties aren't the best fit for us as we age and explore alternative ways to enjoy social gatherings. One of the most immediate and noticeable effects of late-night parties is the disruption to our sleep. As we age, our sleep patterns naturally change. We tend to need more rest to feel rejuvenated, and sleep becomes a precious commodity. Staying up late, especially if it involves high-energy activities like dancing or loud music, can throw off our circadian rhythm, making it harder for us to get a good night's sleep. The next day, we might wake up feeling groggy, sluggish, or even more fatigued than we were the day before. I remember attending a large family celebration a few years ago. The party went on well into the early morning, with everyone dancing and chatting loudly. I thought I could keep up, but by the time I got home, I was completely exhausted. The lack of proper rest left me feeling off the next day, and I realized that the joy of the party didn't outweigh the toll it took on my energy levels. Now I choose earlier gatherings, like afternoon teas or early dinners, which allow me to enjoy myself without worrying about my sleep schedule. Another downside of late-night parties is the physical toll they take. As we age, our stamina and energy levels decrease, and staying up late can leave us physically drained. Whether it's dancing, standing for hours, or just trying to keep up with a fast-paced event, it's easy to feel exhausted when the night stretches on. Late-night parties often require more energy than we can comfortably give, and the recovery time afterward can be much longer than it once was. For instance, I used to host parties with dancing and games that stretched well past midnight. I'd wake up the next morning feeling sore, tired, and not fully rested. The fun of the party was overshadowed by how physically drained I felt afterward. These days, I prefer events that don't require as much physical energy. Dinner parties, game nights, or simple get-togethers where we can engage in conversation and relaxation without the exhaustion that comes with staying up too late. The key is to enjoy socializing while honoring your body's need for rest. Late-night parties aren't just physically taxing, they can also be mentally draining. As we age, our cognitive abilities and focus may not be as sharp as they once were, and trying to keep up with multiple conversations or handle the constant sensory stimulation of a loud environment can lead to mental fatigue. The noise, bright lights, and sheer volume of social interactions in a late-night party setting can leave us mentally overstimulated and stressed. I've attended parties where the noise was overwhelming. Trying to follow conversations over loud music and constant chatter made it difficult to engage meaningfully with others. Instead of feeling connected, I often felt more disconnected and mentally exhausted. I realized that in order to have fulfilling social interactions, I needed a quieter, more relaxed environment. These days, I opt for smaller gatherings with fewer people and less sensory overload. I find these gatherings much more rewarding and less taxing on my mental energy. Late-night parties may no longer be the best way to enjoy socializing, but that doesn't mean we can't still host or attend enjoyable events. There are plenty of alternatives that offer a relaxed, comfortable atmosphere while still providing opportunities for fun, connection, and celebration. Here are some ideas for events that don't require staying up late. 1. Afternoon or early evening dinner parties. Instead of hosting a late-night party, consider hosting a dinner party that starts in the late afternoon or early evening. These gatherings are ideal for enjoying a delicious meal with friends or family without the fatigue of staying up late. Dinner parties allow for meaningful conversation, laughter, and a relaxed atmosphere, all while respecting your need for an early bedtime. You can still enjoy good food and great company while ensuring you get to bed at a reasonable hour. 2. Outdoor gatherings or barbecues. If you love spending time outdoors, hosting a barbecue or picnic in the early evening can be a fantastic alternative. You can enjoy the fresh air, light up the grill, and spend time with family and friends, all while avoiding the late-night chaos of typical parties. Whether it's in your backyard or at a local park, outdoor gatherings offer a more relaxed setting and allow you to enjoy nature while socializing. 3. Game nights or movie marathons. Hosting a game night or movie marathon is a great way to have fun and socialize without staying up until the early hours of the morning. These events allow guests to relax, engage in friendly competition, or watch a good movie in a comfortable setting. You can plan a few games or select a movie lineup that suits the interests of your guests. The best part is that these types of events are low stress and allow everyone to enjoy themselves without the exhaustion that comes with a late-night party. 4. Tea parties or social hours. For a more relaxed and elegant gathering, consider hosting a tea party or a social hour. These events can be centered around enjoying a cup of tea, coffee, or other beverages, along with light snacks or pastries. They're perfect for intimate conversations and a calmer social experience. The quieter, slower pace of a tea party allows guests to unwind and connect without the energy drain of a late-night celebration. As we get older, late-night parties can start to take a toll on our physical and mental well-being. The lack of sleep, physical exhaustion, and social fatigue are just some of the reasons why these types of gatherings may no longer be the best option. However, that doesn't mean we have to stop socializing altogether. By hosting or attending early evening dinners, smaller gatherings, and more relaxed events, we can still enjoy meaningful social experiences without the negative effects of staying up too late. Embrace a new way of socializing that aligns with your need for comfort, rest, and enjoyable interactions. After all, the most important thing is spending time with the people you care about in a way that feels good to you. The second type of place you should avoid is large, uncontrolled gatherings. As we age, we begin to recognize that the kind of social gatherings we enjoyed in our younger years might not be as appealing or enjoyable anymore. One type of party that becomes less ideal after 70 is the large, uncontrolled gathering. While the idea of a big celebration may still sound exciting, the reality of attending or hosting large events filled with too many people, noise, and chaotic energy can quickly become overwhelming. After 70, we often prefer more intimate, relaxed settings where we can focus on meaningful interactions rather than managing a crowd. Let's explore why large, uncontrolled gatherings are no longer the best fit as we age, and how we can still enjoy socializing with friends and family in a more comfortable, enjoyable way. At large gatherings, we are often bombarded with an overwhelming amount of sensory input. The noise of multiple conversations, the flashing lights, the loud music, and the sheer number of people can be physically and mentally exhausting. As we age, our tolerance for these stimuli decreases, and environments that were once exciting can quickly become overstimulating and stressful. The constant buzz of conversation, the clinking of glasses, and the crowded spaces can leave us feeling drained instead of refreshed. I remember attending a family reunion once where there were over 50 people gathered in a large hall. The noise was deafening, and I found it difficult to focus on any one conversation. It felt like everyone was talking at once, and I was overwhelmed by the sheer volume of activity. By the time the evening ended, I was exhausted and a little frazzled, even though I'd had a great time seeing everyone. After that experience, I realized that while large gatherings can be fun, they often leave me feeling drained rather than rejuvenated. I now prefer smaller, quieter gatherings where I can truly engage with a few people at a time without feeling overwhelmed by sensory overload. Large gatherings often require a lot of physical movement, whether it's standing for long periods, walking through crowded areas, or trying to move between different groups of people. As we age, our stamina and energy levels naturally decrease, and these physical demands can quickly become tiring. The strain of trying to keep up with the pace of a large event can lead to sore feet, aching joints, and exhaustion that lasts long after the event is over. I remember attending a wedding where the reception hall was packed, and it was difficult to find a place to sit. I spent most of the evening standing and chatting with various guests, but by the end of the night, my feet were sore, my back was aching, and I was mentally exhausted. I realized that while I still loved socializing, I wasn't enjoying myself the way I used to when I was younger. The physical demands of a large gathering, especially when there's no place to rest, took a toll on my body. Now I prefer to attend or host smaller parties where I can comfortably sit and chat, without worrying about being on my feet for hours. One of the best parts of socializing is having meaningful conversations with the people you care about. But in a large, uncontrolled gathering, meaningful interactions can be difficult to come by. With so many people, the conversations are often brief and surface level, making it hard to truly connect with others. You may end up bouncing from one group to the next, trying to catch up with everyone, but never having a chance for a real conversation. This lack of connection can leave you feeling unsatisfied, despite the fact that you've been around a lot of people. I used to enjoy large family get-togethers, but as I've gotten older, I've realized that I value quality conversations more than ever. At a big event, it's easy to get lost in the crowd, and the conversations are often interrupted or rushed. I find myself wishing I could spend more time talking to specific people, but with so many guests to attend to, it's hard to find those quiet moments. That's why I now prefer smaller gatherings, where I can focus on one or two people at a time and engage in more meaningful dialogue. Whether it's over a meal or while playing cards, the intimacy of a smaller group makes socializing far more enjoyable. Large parties often come with social expectations, whether it's mingling with strangers, making small talk, or trying to fit into a particular group. These expectations can lead to stress, especially if you're not in the mood to engage with large numbers of people. The pressure to be on all night can be mentally draining, and it's easy to feel like you're not living up to the social standards set by the event. As we age, we become more comfortable with ourselves and our limits, and we may no longer feel the need to meet these social demands. For instance, I used to feel the pressure to talk to as many people as possible at big gatherings. I felt obligated to chat with everyone and make a good impression. But now, I've learned that it's okay to decline interactions when I'm not up for them. The older I get, the more I realize that socializing on my terms, whether that's engaging in one-on-one conversations or simply enjoying a quiet evening, is what truly makes me happy. Large, uncontrolled parties with social expectations just aren't the right fit for me anymore. While large parties may no longer be the best fit, that doesn't mean we can't still enjoy socializing. There are plenty of ways to connect with friends and family in a more comfortable, relaxed setting. Here are some ideas for alternative gatherings. 1. Small dinner parties. Hosting or attending small dinner parties allows for meaningful conversation and connection. With fewer guests, it's easier to engage in deeper discussions and enjoy the company of people you truly care about. A cozy dinner at home or at a small restaurant offers a comfortable environment for socializing without the chaos of a large crowd. 2. Intimate game nights. A small game night with family or close friends can be a fun and relaxed way to enjoy each other's company. Games like cards, board games, or trivia encourage interaction and laughter, without the overwhelming size of a big party. It's a great way to connect, have fun, and spend quality time with loved ones. 3. Outdoor gatherings. If you enjoy spending time outdoors, consider hosting a small barbecue or picnic. These events allow people to enjoy each other's company while benefiting from fresh air and a more laid-back atmosphere. The focus is on enjoying the outdoors and each other's presence rather than the physical demands or chaos of a large indoor gathering. 4. Themed socials. A themed social gathering, whether it's a potluck dinner, movie marathon, or wine tasting, allows you to enjoy a shared activity without the large crowds. These events can be tailored to fit the interests of your guests, making for a more enjoyable and intimate experience. As we get older, large, uncontrolled gatherings often lose their charm. The noise, physical demands, and lack of meaningful interactions can make these events more exhausting than enjoyable. Instead, opt for smaller, more intimate gatherings where you can focus on quality connections and relaxed fun. Whether it's a cozy dinner party, a casual game night, or an outdoor gathering, these events provide the perfect opportunity to socialize without the overwhelm of a big crowd. Socializing should bring joy, not stress, so let's embrace gatherings that match our needs and allow us to truly connect with others. The third you should avoid is parties with lots of physical demands. As we age, our bodies naturally change. The high-energy, physically demanding parties we once enjoyed, full of dancing, games, and non-stop activity, can quickly take a toll on our energy levels and overall well-being. It's not that we no longer enjoy socializing or having fun, but the type of fun that works for us shifts. After 70, parties with a lot of physical demands are no longer as appealing or sustainable. Whether it's dancing for hours, standing for long periods, or engaging in physically challenging games, these activities can leave us feeling exhausted and sore. Let's dive into why parties with excessive physical demands might not be the best choice after 70 and explore more suitable alternatives that allow us to enjoy our social lives without overexerting ourselves. As we age, our stamina and energy levels decrease, and we may find that we're no longer able to keep up with the physically demanding activities we once enjoyed. Late-night dancing, running around playing games, or standing for long stretches can quickly wear us out. What was once exhilarating now becomes physically exhausting, and the recovery time afterward takes much longer. These kinds of parties often leave us feeling wiped out the next day, which can take away from the enjoyment of the event itself. I remember attending a birthday party a few years ago that had a live band and dancing well into the night. The energy of the crowd was contagious, and I couldn't resist joining in. But after a couple of hours of dancing and standing, I could feel my legs and back starting to ache. By the end of the night, I was completely drained, and it took days for my body to recover. I realized that I needed to pace myself better, and that the joy of the event shouldn't come at the cost of my physical well-being. As we age, our joints and muscles aren't as resilient as they once were, and engaging in high-energy activities can increase the risk of injury. Whether it's pulling a muscle while dancing or twisting an ankle while playing a competitive game, physical demands on our bodies can lead to injuries that take longer to heal. Even simple activities like standing for long periods or moving quickly in a crowded space can strain muscles or joints, which can be particularly concerning for those with existing health conditions or mobility challenges. I recall trying to keep up with some younger family members in a game of volleyball at a large family reunion. While I had fun, I quickly felt a strain in my knee, something I hadn't experienced before. The rest of the weekend was spent dealing with soreness and stiffness, and I realized that I needed to be more careful about the types of activities I participate in. These days, I choose gatherings that allow me to enjoy myself without putting my body at risk for injury. The joy of socializing doesn't always have to be tied to physical activity. As we age, we often find that we appreciate quieter, more relaxed ways of engaging with others, whether it's through conversation, shared meals, or enjoying a more leisurely activity. The pressure to keep up with high-energy social events can lead to unnecessary fatigue and stress. There's no need to overexert ourselves when the purpose of socializing is to enjoy each other's company and have meaningful connections. I used to feel obligated to participate in every physical game or activity at large parties, but over time, I realized that what I really enjoyed most was spending quality time with my friends and family, not necessarily running around or staying active for hours on end. Nowadays, I focus on gatherings where the energy is lower and the emphasis is on connection and conversation. These events allow me to be present and enjoy the people I care about without the strain of physical activity. While parties with lots of physical demands may no longer be the best choice, it doesn't mean we can't still enjoy socializing. There are plenty of alternative ways to host or attend gatherings that are low impact, enjoyable, and allow us to connect with others without physical strain. Here are a few ideas. 1. Casual dinner parties or potlucks. A casual dinner party or potluck is a great alternative to a physically demanding gathering. Instead of dancing or playing physical games, the focus is on sharing a meal and engaging in relaxed conversation. These types of gatherings are ideal for enjoying each other's company without feeling pressured to be physically active. You can still enjoy a delicious meal, tell stories, and bond over shared experiences, all while sitting comfortably and engaging in thoughtful conversation. 2. Board games, card games, or trivia nights. If you enjoy friendly competition, a game night can be a fun and engaging way to socialize without physical exertion. Board games, card games, or trivia nights provide opportunities for interaction and fun while keeping the energy level manageable. These activities also allow everyone to participate, regardless of physical ability, and create a relaxed, low-stress environment for guests to enjoy. Plus, there's no need for long periods of standing or running around, just good, friendly competition. 3. Movie nights or themed socials. Movie nights or themed social events are perfect for creating a relaxed atmosphere. Whether it's a cozy film screening, a classic movie marathon, or a themed costume party, these events allow people to gather and enjoy each other's company without the physical demands of traditional parties. You can even pair these events with comfortable seating and light snacks to make the experience even more enjoyable. The focus remains on having a good time and enjoying the film or activity, not on staying active for hours. 4. Outdoor or nature walks. If you prefer outdoor activities, consider hosting a gathering centered around a nature walk or a leisurely stroll in a park. Instead of high-energy activities like hiking or long-distance walking, opt for shorter, more relaxed walks that allow everyone to take in the fresh air and enjoy nature without overexerting themselves. This type of gathering can be especially enjoyable for those who appreciate a slower pace, but still want to be social and active in a relaxed environment. While it can be tempting to host or attend high-energy parties full of physical activities, these types of gatherings can quickly lead to exhaustion and discomfort as we age. The good news is that there are plenty of alternatives that allow us to continue enjoying socializing while prioritizing comfort and well-being. Whether it's hosting a casual dinner party, enjoying a quiet game night, or going for a leisurely walk, there are countless ways to connect with others without the strain of physical exertion. Let's embrace a more relaxed, enjoyable way of socializing, one that allows us to preserve our energy and focus on what truly matters, meaningful connections and good company. If you've hosted or attended a similar party, comment below. Let me know how you've adapted your social gatherings to make them more enjoyable in your golden years. So, there you have it. While we may not be able to wear everything we used to, go to every place we once loved, or throw the same kind of parties we did years ago, that doesn't mean we can't still live our lives to the fullest. It's about adjusting to what makes us comfortable, healthy, and happy. Whether it's choosing the right clothes, planning smarter trips, or hosting relaxed gatherings, our golden years are all about enjoying what matters most. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Golden Aging, where your support means the world to us. We look forward to bringing you more content that inspires growth, joy, and purpose. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.